Book of Enoch, one of the oldest and most intriguing texts in apocryphal literature, offers a unique and complex view of the spiritual universe. It is believed to have been written between the 3rd century BC and the 1st century AD, but despite its antiquity and influence in certain traditions, it was never integrated into the official biblical canon. The reasons for its omission are varied, and understanding these motives is essential to grasp the dimension of its exclusion. The early councils and Christian communities faced the challenge of defining which texts would be considered divinely inspired and which might lead to divergent interpretations. The Book of Enoch, with its bold visions of fallen angels, multi-layered heavens, and spiritual battles, seemed to deviate from the central and consistent messages of the canonical texts. Its exclusion may have been motivated by the tension between deeply mystical spirituality and the need for a more linear and controlled theology at the time. The leaders of the early churches analyzed texts like Enoch's and considered that, although fascinating, some of its themes, such as the fallen angels and the multi-layered heavens, could be interpreted as a threat to the more traditional view of a single God and a linear cosmology. Additionally, the apparent inconsistencies with the canonical texts, including the descriptions of angels and the different levels of heaven, contributed to the decision to exclude it. This book presents one of the most detailed and enigmatic descriptions of the concept of multiple heavens, a vision that strongly contrasted with the simpler, unified image of the heavens that would be consolidated in the canonical texts. According to Enoch, there are 10 heavens, each with specific characteristics and beings, where angels of different functions and levels of power dwell. This multi-dimensional vision suggests a rich and hierarchical cosmology, in which each heaven represents a distinct layer of creation and the relationship between the divine and the physical world. He recounts that he is guided by angels on a journey that takes him through different levels of heaven, where he encounters not only angelic beings, but also places of judgment, salvation, and even punishment. Each heaven seems to have a specific function. 1st and 2nd heavens describe guardian angels and angels who observe humanity, with a role of supervising human actions. 3rd and 4th heavens, places of blessing and judgment. The 3rd heaven, in particular, is described as paradise, where the souls of the righteous await final judgment. 5th and 6th heavens, reserved for the worship and glorification of God, filled with choirs of angels singing praises. 10th heaven, the abode of God, inaccessible to angels and to Enoch himself until he is elevated. The vision of the multiple heavens offered by the Book of Enoch is a fascinating perspective on the structure of the spiritual and physical universe. It suggests that reality is more complex than the visible world, with several layers of existence, each playing a unique role in divine organization. This multi-layered heaven theory may have influenced other religious and philosophical traditions, such as Gnosticism, which also addresses the idea of stratified spiritual dimensions. The implications for Judeo-Christian cosmology are vast. By suggesting the existence of an intermediate paradise, where souls await judgment, the Book of Enoch anticipates theological discussions that would develop over the centuries. This idea of a layered cosmology also challenges the notion of a single and unified heaven, suggesting that the divine manifests itself differently in each layer. The book provides a detailed glimpse into the complexity of the heavenly hosts, describing an organized structure of angels with different roles, orders, and responsibilities. In this system, there's a clear hierarchy among angels, where each group serves a specific function in the creation and preservation of divine order. This organization of angels reflects not only a spiritual complexity, but also the notion that heaven, like earth, operates under a system of governance and order. Enoch recounts his interactions with angels who perform a wide range of roles, from messengers to guardians and warriors. Some of the most notable angels include watcher angels, described as celestial beings tasked with observing and protecting humanity. However, some of these angels, according to Enoch, become corrupted by falling in love with human women, resulting in the creation of the Nephilim, a race of giants. Archangels like Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel. These high-ranking angels have specific functions, such as protecting the souls of the righteous, leading heavenly armies, or executing judgments. They represent divine justice and God's power in controlling spiritual forces. Angels of judgment and punishment. Some orders of angels are responsible for punishing evil spirits and sinners. These angels, detailed in the Book of Enoch, are tasked with maintaining justice, playing an active role in the final judgment. The hierarchical view of angels presented in the Book of Enoch was fundamental to the later development of angelology, especially in Christianity and Judaism. This structure influences the way angels are viewed in many traditions, not only as messengers of God but as active agents in maintaining divine and cosmic order. Many scholars suggest that the angelic organization described by Enoch served as a basis for the development of theories about archangels, seraphim, and other higher orders that populate Christian and Jewish mysticism. The descriptions also offer an exclusive account of the rebellion of angels, particularly of the Watchers, who rebel against their functions and follow their desires, corrupting humanity. This theme is central to the Book of Enoch and puts into perspective the struggle between good and evil, highlighting the consequences of free will for celestial beings and its implications for humanity. The authorship of the Book of Enoch is a topic surrounded by mystery and speculation. It is believed that the text was not written by a single author, but rather that it is a compilation of different writings produced over centuries, with influences from various traditions and schools of thought. Although traditionally attributed to Enoch, the seventh descendant of Adam, historical evidence suggests that the work underwent edits and additions, resulting from a continuous transmission and modification. The book contains elements clearly influenced by the Jewish Torah, including themes and figures that appear in texts such as Genesis and Deuteronomy. Many scholars see this connection as an attempt by the authors to legitimize the content of the book by relating it to the sacred scriptures of the Jewish tradition. However, there are also distinct and innovative elements that differentiate the Book of Enoch, suggesting that it may have been composed by authors with different intentions and cultural contexts. It is believed that the book, or at least parts of it, was written between the 3rd century BC and the 1st century AD, during a period of religious and cultural fermentation. This period saw the emergence of various Jewish sects, such as the Essenes, who valued apocryphal and mystical texts. It is possible that these groups contributed to the preservation and circulation of the Book of Enoch, seeing in it a spiritual resource that complemented the Torah by offering a deeper perspective on the spiritual universe. The authors of Enoch seem to have used the Torah as a theological base but went beyond it by introducing concepts such as multi-layered heavens and the rebellion of the angels. In particular, the account in Genesis of the sons of God, who united with the daughters of men, Genesis 6:1-4, is expanded in the Book of Enoch into a complex narrative about the Watchers, the rebellious angels, and the consequent corruption of humanity. This expansion and the attempt to place the book in the context of the Torah suggest a desire to provide an account that explores hidden or implicit themes in the scriptures. This literary and spiritual innovation indicates that the Book of Enoch did not seek to replace sacred texts, but rather to complement the understanding of spirituality and the invisible forces that govern the universe. Enoch, who is taken up to heaven and witnesses the workings of the universe, represents an intermediary between the human and the divine. His journey through heaven and hell and his interaction with angels offer a reflection on the spiritual quest for understanding and closeness to God. In Enoch's context, heaven is not just a place of rest, but a dynamic realm where divine justice and order are maintained by angels and spirits who work tirelessly. Enoch's messages emphasize that all human actions are observed and that each soul will be judged with divine justice. This view of an afterlife, where the righteous receive rewards and the wicked are punished, anticipates ideas that would later develop in the Jewish and Christian traditions about final judgment and redemption. Another central point of the Book of Enoch is the story of the fallen angels and how they introduce sin into the world. By rebelling and imparting forbidden knowledge to humanity, the Watchers create a division between the divine and the human world. This story can be seen as an allegory about the struggle between good and evil and the challenges of free will. The message is clear. Every act has consequences, and even celestial beings are subject to God's judgment. For the modern reader, the Book of Enoch offers a view on the importance of righteousness and the quest for a life aligned with divine principles. It suggests that repentance and humility are essential for those who seek redemption and a return to divine grace.